Welcome to the Grownlearn Podcast, everyone, and welcome to everybody watching on the Heal and Learn channel. Today I have a very special guest. He is, as he describes himself, and as he actually is, a God-made millionaire. He's invested in multiple businesses, from transportation to logistics. His story is very interesting, actually. He comes from Ecuador, and he immigrated to the US when he was 12. So it's a bit of a story from rags to riches. I'm actually very curious to figure out how he made the American dream as it used to be. So I'm welcoming Edwin Carrion. Hello, Edwin.
Serena, good morning. Thank you for having me in your show. And to everyone listening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone or whatever part of the world you're listening to us today.
Very glad to have you, Edwin. Tell us a bit about your background. It's a very interesting background. I mean, and it's inspirational because from where you come from and, assuming that you had a humble background, and then you are a multimillionaire. At this day, you're teaching people and entrepreneurs how to grow even without a significant startup capital. So
yes.
What is your story?
Oh, my story starts in 1978, so not too long ago, back in Quito, Ecuador. I was born and raised in Quito, Ecuador. I have a brother. I'm the oldest one of three sons right now, three brothers. And but growing up, I was raised by a single mother. My mom raised us, very humble beginnings. From a third world country, we had to, survive. She had to take care of her family. She had to take care of everybody else. And she was very fortunate enough to be able to come to the U.S. And while she was in the U.S., we stayed in Ecuador back for a few years until she was able to bring us to the U.S. And growing up without a father, growing up with a single mom, and seeing how much she worked, what a hard worker she was. I got a lot of the entrepreneurial spirit from her. But the one thing that I learned from her, which is very important, is that I never wanted to work as much as she did. I wanted to make a lot of money, but I never wanted to work as much as she did because I realized that as growing up, she wasn't able to spend a lot of quality time with us. And that's one of the things that I do today and that I teach people today is that you can have everything you want in life, but also you can have the balance in life where you're not only focusing to working all the time, but when you start having the balance in life, then everything starts to flow a lot better.
This all sounds great, Edwin, and I have maybe an unconventional question for you right now. Lots of people that are in neuroscience that teach mindset, wealth mindset, abundance mindset, they say it's practically impossible, or it's really hard if you've grown up in a humble beginning and you haven't worked on your mindset and reprogrammed your mind to basically attract abundance. You need to reprogram yourself. How did you work around this thing? Did you work on your mindset, or was it all luck? How would you describe your change of faith?
Right. I will never say it's luck because, luck runs out. But I will tell you is that what you said right now is faith. Number one is having that strong faith, that strong belief in myself, in God, that I can have everything that I want in my life, that He's going to give me all the desires of my heart. But the second part is that what you said, I had to reprogram my mind. I had to teach myself to become successful. I have to change my habits and my beliefs and those limiting beliefs that we all have. And it's a constant learning until today, until now. Just this morning, I was listening to self-development audio to my pastor preaching the message, and that is part of self-development. That is how we grow, and we need to understand that there is abundance in life, and we can have it all. We just need to reprogram our brain, just like you said.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that the biggest role that this reprogramming has played in your life is your belief in God? Or are you a Christian?
Yes, and yes, that is one of my biggest beliefs, and that's why I call myself a God-made millionaire. Because when I was younger and I didn't know better, and I didn't have the relationship that I have with my God now, what happened was that when I left the Marine Corps and I made my first millions, I was proclaiming that I was a self-made millionaire. And the moment that I lost everything and I went bankrupt, I realized that I was being cocky, that I was being selfish, that I wasn't giving the credit not only to God, but to everybody else that helped me along the way to become very successful. And when I realized that no one on this earth can become successful on their own. We all need somebody to help us become successful. And the biggest thing that I learned is that the more successful that I make the people under me, the more successful that I'm going to become. The more value that I give out to the world, the more valuable I'm going to become. So when I changed the mindset, I decided to start giving grace not only to God but to everyone, all my team, everybody that helps me to be where I am today. And that was like a complete life change because nobody's self-made. And when I hear people saying self-made, I look at it and I ask, I'm like, how many people work for you? Like, how did you make yourself to become self-made?
Good
There's
point.
no, right?
Hmm. So, and now that you mentioned this, you also have a Facebook group where you help people start up and succeed. What is the Facebook group called?
Yes, the Facebook group that I have is called a Startup to Millions. And that Facebook group is a really nice group because we have a lot of like-minded individuals. We have a lot of successful business owners. We have people that are just wanted to start in business. I want to learn about business that they just join and they get so much knowledge for free. And I think it's not only about, how many groups do I join or what groups do I join, is that one of the things that I learned when I really started investing in myself, investing in the right mentors for me, was that does that person that I'm going to follow, that is going to lead me along the way, does he share my values, my faith, and my beliefs? And if I'm the type of person that shares your values, your faith, your beliefs, and you want to be where I am today, then you need to follow me. But if you don't, then you have to find the right mentor that is going to be the right mentor for you, that is going to take you on the path where you want to get to.
I can see that the values that are strongly embedded in your communication and in your program for coaching and for people to succeed. So the values are honor, courage, and commitment. And you state that these are the same values that you've gained during your service in the United States Marines. Can you share more about this?
Yes, yes. So when I was growing up, as I was being raised, and my mother taught me some very good values. And those values were don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, be good to people, be humble. And as growing up, we didn't have a definition to those values, right? And when I left the Marine Corps, while I was in the Marine Corps values are honor, courage, commitment. So then I started putting those two and two together, and I realized that everything that my mother taught me was embedded into those military values, those Marine Corps values, which was honor, courage, commitment. And I decided to continue with those values throughout my life. And I just added the first one on top of that, which is faith. So my core values in anything that I do is faith, honor, courage, and commitment. And without faith, there's not much that you could do, especially if you don't believe in yourself. You're limited to what you could do and you could accomplish. Without honor, people are not going to trust you and they're not going to believe in you. Without courage, you're not going to have the courage to take that leap of faith and do things that you want to do in your life. And without commitment, you're always going to quit along the way. So to me, I think, when I started a business and in one of my companies, I had like a list of maybe like 10, 12 values. And then I realized those are too many. Nobody can remember those. And we need to narrow down the values into what really is important in life. And I think once I narrowed those values down into just those 4 simple values, things have changed. And my team understands those values, and the people that work with me and that work for me follow the same values. And the people that I work with only as well, I only work with people that share those values and those beliefs because, like we mentioned a minute ago, there is abundance in this world, right? So if I don't pick and choose who I want to work with, then I'm not following my values and my beliefs. So now I really stick to my values and my beliefs, and I only work with people that share those.
It's interesting how you made this transition. Like it was a huge jump, it seems, from being a Marine to being a millionaire, albeit being, although you failed afterwards. How did you make your first million, or how did you change significantly your mindset?
Okay, how did I make my first million? My first million was made right after the Marine Corps. 2 years after the Marines, I got into real estate development. And I'm sure you heard the saying is like, you are the right person at the right time. But,
you have to be the right person at the right place at the right time. And just when I left the Marine Corps in 2002, the real estate market started going up, and I became a real estate developer. Off the bat, no experience, no nothing. Leaving the Marine Corps, I had that courage, I had the honor, I had that commitment to do what I wanted to do, to accomplish my dreams. And I had the faith that I was going to do it. So I started working very hard, not having a life, not having the balance in life, just focus into the money. And because I was focused into the money, I was able to achieve the millionaire status in a very short time. But again, because I was focused on the wrong thing, I lost everything and I went bankrupt. But yeah, that's how I started into my millionaire journey, which I became a millionaire at the young age of 24 years old.
Mm-hmm. And so after you understood what your focus is, what your mindset should be, aligned with, giving credit to everybody who supported you along the way, and acknowledging that it's by the will of God, how did you continue your business afterwards? After your bankruptcy, what happened?
Right. So right after I went bankrupt, I had a moment of self-doubt. I had that moment of, I'm a loser, I'm a failure. How am I going to do this again? How am I going to become successful again? And I think we all go through those times where, am I going to make it again? Am I going to continue? How am I going to grow, right? And when I started investing, I went to a seminar it was a seminar about mindset and about money. And I switched my mindset. I'm like, wow, I'm not a failure. I made a lot of money. I was successful. I was very young. I was focused into the wrong thing. So the biggest thing that I realized there, that because I was focused in the wrong thing, I lost it all. Because I realized that I didn't take care of myself. I didn't take care of my friends. I didn't give credit to the people that helped me out. I wasn't living the life that I wanted, because to me it was all about work, money, money, money. But then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to live that lifestyle anymore. I want to make sure that I enjoy my life to the fullest. I want to have a life that I look back, I'm like, wow, what an amazing life. What a great life that I have. And sure enough, that's when I decided to start doing that. And when I decided to start doing that, to living life to the fullest, when I decided to live my best life, opportunities started coming my way. And sure enough, within a couple of months, the opportunity of getting into the gold buying industry came up. Again, right person at the right place at the right time. I took that company. We raised $300,000 in very little time because I was in bankruptcy. And we took that company to over $15 million in revenues in just 2 years. We had 14 stores throughout the United States. And I was able to sell that company in 2014 and then retire again at the young age of 33 years old for the first time in my life.
That's impressive. You had already the experience before you succeeded for the second time, right? You were successful already once, so you could copy potentially this experience in the second coming back. But what would you say to people as advice that are just starting out, that have never had the experience of having success in any business, or that have terribly failed? What is the first thing they need to do to turn around their fate?
The first thing to turn around their faith is start believing in themselves, and have that faith that when you said that they're not successful in anything, I tend to say that that's wrong, because we all are successful in something, right? The thing is that we don't give ourselves the credit of what we achieved. So when we start giving the credit to ourselves that, hey, you achieved this, what happens is it's not that we're not successful, is that we hit a ceiling and we need to learn how to break through that ceiling. So maybe somebody's ceiling is making $30,000 a year, and somebody's ceiling is making $50,000 a year, and somebody's ceiling is making $100,000 a year, or my ceiling is making $20 million a year. So it's learning, how do we go past that ceiling so we could get to the next phase? Because we are successful at getting $30,000 a year. And if that person that thinks is not successful at making $30,000 a year, if he goes bankrupt, I guarantee you that within a year, he's going to go back to the same $30,000 a year, because he knows how to get there. So it's finding the right person to help you break those ceilings in order for you to go to the next part of your life.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that living or starting to live a fulfilling life is a part of the formula to break a ceiling?
Yes. It's having that clarity of what do I want in my life, and the problem is that once you're focused in the money, like a lot of people want to, oh, I want to make $1 million in my business. Okay, why? Why do you want to make $1 million? Oh, because I want to have a lot of money. But why do you want to have a lot of money? Like they have no clarity on why they want it. So to me, it's more like, oh, I want to have the Lamborghini this year. I want to buy the yacht this year. Which yacht do I want? I want the 45-foot yacht. How much do they go for? What brand do I want? I want the Azimuth. I want the Veneto. What do I want? Okay, so now I start figuring out how much does that cost. Once I figure out how much that costs, then I have to figure out, okay, now I got to make money to buy that yacht. And once I buy the yacht, what is the maintenance cost of that? So once you start having that clarity, that's how you start kind of breaking those ceilings, because now you're pushing into something that you have clarity on versus into just a round figure where I just want to become a millionaire.
Mm-hmm. Edwin, you specifically stated that you're very fond of your family. You're a family guy. It's in your description, in your bio even, which is quite rare to say, I am a family guy. Tell us what role does your family play in your overall life fulfillment and satisfaction, and how this fits into your values?
Oh, I mean, into my overall fulfillment, it's one of the biggest fulfillments. Growing up without a father, raised by a single mom, one of my biggest wishes and things that I wanted in life was to be a family man, to be a good father, right? And even though all odds were against me, because I didn't know what it is to be a father, I didn't know what it is to be a husband, because I was never raised around that. I could probably say that I have been married for 12 years. And I could tell you that I am a very good father to my kids, because I try to spend as much quality time with them. And when you look at all these material things that I have, it's not so much material things. One of them is to satisfy my dreams, but the other one is to create experiences with my family, to create experiences with my kids. You know, having the yacht, we created so many memories, so many experiences of places that we go to, weekends that we spend together, having the nice exotic cars. You know, we go out with my wife to nice dinners, to nice places, and that creates those memories that when I pass away, when something happens to me, those are the memories that are going to be left behind. Like, wow, you know, we enjoyed life. Like, we had a good life. We went out. We enjoyed nice restaurants. We enjoyed nice cars. It's not so much about bragging, but it's so much about showing that not only did we have a great life, but also that we did good for people, because we inspire and are able to aspire other people to become better. My kids, we go out there as a family and we donate food to the homeless. We do things for charity, and it's building them up to be great humans.
Mm-hmm. What is behind you? The Startup to Millions? What is this, a book? Tell us about this initiative.
Yeah. Startup to Millions. It's part of my Facebook group, which is also an online program where it teaches you how to start a company and take it to the millions. It takes you step by step, and it helps you rewire your mindset. It helps you rewire your brain, but also gives you the tools necessary to start your business into whatever type of business you want, so you could get to the millions. But also, a lot of people don't know. It's like, Edwin, I have no idea what business to start. It doesn't matter, because in this program, I give people two types of businesses that they could start, where they could create wealth and they could make money.
Mm-hmm. You specifically talk about real estate. I understand one of your specialties.
It is. One of my specialties is real estate development, and you know, I've been fortunate enough to be a jack of all trades, master or none, and I have gone into different industries. So then I realized that my biggest gift is scaling companies, taking companies from early stages into the millions really fast. So one of the things that I do, one of my programs that I have, my coaching programs that I have, is called Scale Up to Millions, where I also take companies, small companies, and take them to the millions. And I always wanted to do something different. I always like to do things different. And one of the things that I noticed that most coaches don't believe in what they teach. And because they don't believe in what they teach, they're not willing to invest their own capital on their students. Well, that's exactly what I do. When I have somebody that I mentor, that I help them scale their company, I invest my own capital with them. When I teach somebody real estate development, I invest my own capital with them to do a development project. Why? Because what I noticed was, and even from my own experience, that when I hire a mentor to teach me something and the mentorship is over, I'm on my own. And then it's up to me to take that leap of faith to see if it's going to work out. But a lot of them get stuck right there. So in order for that not to happen anymore, I decided to say, you know what? You go through my program. Once we get to the end, I'm going to invest with you because now I know that I'm set you up for success. So if I'm setting you up for success, why would I invest my own capital somewhere else versus somebody that I know is going to do things the way that I do and become successful?
Mm-hmm. So what is the structure of your program? How do people, do they apply or do they just join?
No. It depends what kind of program they're going with, right? The Startup to Millions is a program, again, it's an online program where you go step by step, you do it on your own. It's a very affordable for everyone. I call it $1 per day. So if you could spare $1 a day, that's how much it's going to cost you, $365 for the whole year. Now, the Scale Up to Millions, which is more like an inner circle, that's a more high-level program, and it's actually that one by invitation. So, if you fit my values, if you fit within my beliefs, if you have a company that you're already starting, then that's when you can become part of that program. So it's more like by invitation only. I have to qualify because, like I mentioned earlier, I only work with people that share my same values, my beliefs, because that's the people that I want to be surrounded with, and that's the people that I want them to be surrounded by.
Mm-hmm. So where are you going next? What are your future plans? What are your aspirations?
Future plans, and the reason I have this background today is because as we speak right now, I'm in South America, I'm in Cali, Colombia, and one of our plans for this year with my family is we're moving to South America to experience the culture for a few years. And that is the part of having that financial freedom, that you're able to pick up and go and travel the world whenever you want, right? So that's number one. The other one is that as I'm here, I'm going to start helping the Hispanic market, and start doing live events and helping them grow, change their mindset, and very fortunate enough, continue speaking around the world like I'm doing. So those are my plans for the year. I just continue inspiring, being able to be the guest on shows, amazing shows just like yours, to be able to inspire and aspire more people that I can.
Great, wonderful. Do you also speak at live events?
Yes, I do.
You do. Okay. Wonderful. So once again, where can people reach you, Edwin?
Best way to reach me is at my website, edwincarrion.com. Once you go to my website, it has all the link to all my social media channels. And if you follow me on social media, and if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. The one thing that you always are going to do is that don't be afraid to ask. My mentor taught me to become an ask hole. So if we don't ask, we're never going to get an answer, right?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time and insights. Edwin Carrion, the God-made millionaire.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to Grow and Learn. We hope that you found our podcast informative, engaging, and inspiring. Our mission is to help you keep growing and learning, and we hope that our conversations and insights have provided you with practical advice and useful perspectives. If you're looking for personalized support and guidance to help you achieve your personal or professional growth objectives, I offer a range of services to help. As a trusted management partner and mentor, I work with businesses in the process of transformation, looking for new streams of business, as well as M&A. With an extensive professional network of experts and mentors, I can bring on board the right person or team based on the specific needs of the company I'm working with. To learn more about the services I offer and how I can help you achieve your goals, visit my website at grownlearn.org. You can also reach out to me via email or social media. I'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this episode of Grow and Learn, please subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback is important to us, and it helps us to continue to create content that is relevant and valuable to our listeners. Thanks again for listening, and we look forward to sharing more insights and perspectives with you in the future.